Why don't you guys, let's tackle this. What makes us bullish long-term on Top Shot?
For me, it is innovation. It is the fact that we suddenly have utility out of nowhere. And this isn't even like an official Top Shot thing. It's a moment ranks thing. So it's the innovation that Dapper has shown that they are thinking about and how forward thinking they are. And just the utility of community members and NBA fans that are using these moments in certain ways. And obviously there's still hard court to come. Who knows if that'll be a home run or a swing and a miss? We don't know. But I don't think that'll be the last thing either. So that's why I'm bullish on it. I think a lot of the nitty gritty, obviously you can make a lot of mistakes, and I certainly have. But long term, I think this company is too forward thinking to not have something valuable in the future.
Yeah, they're obviously not new to this sort of NFT world. They've been dabbling stuff, pioneered things. And I just think that this is, to me, the overall appeal of it was the actual moment, as opposed to, I know Greg is deep in the wax world with the cards. And to me, it's cool. Like, I've bought a few of those for sure. But the difference is I get to actually own Luka's double bang 3-pointer from the bubble. Like, I get to have that versus just a card of him. Maybe it's the same image, it's reused. It's like, okay, fine. Like, I still, like, I've called it out, I still collect physical cards. There's something, at least that, because it's physical and I have it. And if they've done an auto, I've got Juan Soto's autograph and he actually signed that card, right? Like, that's kind of cool to me from the physical world. But from this in the digital world, having the actual moment, like with that LeBron 3 over Steph, that we know that's going to be coming. I'm going to be excited to have that. So I just think all of that, in addition to sort of like where you can just sell it if you need to instantly. You don't have to worry about anything. If I have to do any of this stuff with the cards, I've got to put it on eBay and see if someone's going to get it. Or if I don't grade it, do I get it graded? All those dumb things that you have to sort of deal with. It's all eliminated in here. It's like a one-stop shop. You can price it whatever you want. You can say this has more value than whatever it is. It's so much easier to do a transaction. I can pull it up to say, hey, check out this moment I own, and show it to anyone sort of at any time, versus like Greg has never seen my Juan Soto auto. Like, he just is like, yeah, it exists. He has it. I've never seen it. And I just like the whole platform. I think they've done a very user-friendly version of the NFT world. It is super user-friendly. And I think that it just makes it more appealing to new users and all this stuff. It's not overly complicated. It's just, all of those things are great.
Oh, wait, hold on. This is, breaking news here. Shout out to First Mint right here. Gosh.
Did they know that we are technically the 15th mint? We deliver the news after they do about,
I think we're the CC. We're still circulating.
We're still circulating.
We stay in the First Mint. Yeah. We love you guys. Keep doing what you're doing. I think the real future of Top Shot is going to be when, and we've said this before, but when something happens in a game, imagine like a playoff game tonight, and the next morning it's in the marketplace, that moment. I think that's when it's all going to make sense. That's when it's going to click, and it's going to hit you in that place of wanting to own a piece of history, even though it's a digital moment, it's a digital video. But it's the same thing that they have with baseball with their series Tops Now. Like, I go on, I'm a sucker, and like, I sent it to Dustin the other day, Albert Pujols' first home run as a Dodger.
Yeah. And
they had a card the next morning that they're like, you can get this card. And I was like, Dustin, you going to get it? But I've done that way too many times in the playoffs, and this is a much more exciting version of that.
Yeah.
And those cards still like crazy. So
to that point, Greg, imagine if it was actually his home run hit instead of just the photo of him. Exactly. That's what's exciting about this to me. That Steph moment, that LeBron 3, if that had been available the next morning on the platform, you imagine how, like, and also just new users jumping on to say, oh man, like, wait, I can get that. It would be pumped on like the morning shows on Mike's Morning Marketplace. It would be pumped there, like just showing it off, like, hey, that moment, that highlight, it's here now. It's on the platform. You can get it. People would be stoked for it versus, just a picture. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. And then when you throw in the fact that there's a limited amount, right? Because Tops Now, they're going to print as many as people buy, and then you can never get it again in theory. But if they're like, there's only 4K of this moment, it's like, it just adds.
I gotta have it.
Fire.
Yeah, gotta have it.
And I want to scratch a different itch too, like to come at it from a different angle too. I think for me, this is the culmination, not the culmination, but it's similar to the DFS world, right? It's the same. For me, anyways, that's what's appealing to me, where it's like another way to use that same skill set, excitement, the gambling aspect to it, like all of that kind of rolled into one for me. And that for me, that's what gets me pretty excited. Like it's like, okay, cool. And just like for the arrogant part of my brain that's like, I know basketball better than you know basketball, and that's how I'm gonna get a leg up in this. And I think everyone's like that, right? Everyone's like, I have this figured out. And then to realize quickly that I don't have this figured out. But it's just it's a lot. For me, that's what's super exciting for me about it.
Yeah, one of the other things too early on was that it was an official NBA partner. It wasn't like unofficial, or it was like teamed up. It's on their site. This is all official. And to me, like, the NBA is pretty smart about everything that they do, and they're gonna push this bad boy in a big way when the time comes. And that beta, still in beta, is ripped off the website. So I'm waiting for that day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then shout out Nerdbird. This is totally right. Like, I paid zero attention to the NBA until the playoffs every year. And this year I got sucked in just because of Top Shot.
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are in that boat. I think a lot of people are like finding their love for it again too. And now are, especially if you were like casually watching, and now that the playoffs start and there's only like 4 games to pay attention to a day, and it like takes over Twitter. It takes over Twitter. I was
just going to say that NBA Twitter dominates, especially like primetime games if it's blowing up. But during the playoffs, every trending topic is going to be the games. It's going to be every single player. It's going to be whatever it is. That's what's going to dominate. So it just feels like it's all the conversation, and you just get wrapped up in it. And you're like, wow, man, Luka's so good. I need a Luka moment, right? Totally. Even if it's a 40K, like, I just love Luka. I'm going to grab his for $5, and it was $3 before. So everything starts to pop up a little bit more.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw it immediately when we looked at On the Moment. Like, Robert Williams had a good game. He's shooting up, like, all of it. It's really exciting. And of course we're bullish on it because we're making content on it, and there's still going to be ups and downs, and we've screened this all the time. Like, not financial advice, be wise, like, only risk what you're willing to lose, all of that stuff. But it's a lot of fun.
And collect what you love. Like, that's what I was doing with all these moments. I was buying moments I actually love and want in my collection, and players I want in my collection. I didn't really grab, swings at like, this weird thing, or I wanted, like, if this all crashes, I love what I have in my collection.
Yeah.
And imagine in a few years when there's so many more run it back, like, iconic moments, like, what that's going to do for people's collections, how prideful they're going to feel about owning, whatever moment it was that they saw as a kid, right?
Yeah.
Right. You know what? I might buy another THT right now, Neil. Before the game starts, make a few bucks on that. Make $1 off of it.
Oh man. Oh, I would love a Batista flip.
That's the dream. But I'm like, in 5 years, I bet someone's going to do it. Like, NBA Top Shot's following a specific path where they're very stingy with the run it back moments, which gives them more value. But if MLB comes in the game and just drops a bunch of historic moments, oh my God.
What if it's a Dave Batista moment?
Ooh, yeah.
Nothing goes over his head.
I want to shout out Brian Collins from our Discord, who I don't think is in the chat today, but yesterday, right, as the games are going back and forth, Chris Middleton hits that sick game winner. Kawhi has a monster dunk, and he's just putting in all caps in the Discord, minting. And like, I love that idea of like what Greg was saying too. You see that moment and you're like, tomorrow it's going to be on the market tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I love that idea of it. Like, oh shit, I can't wait. And I think we're just at the beginning of that, which is really cool.
Do you guys think there's ever a scenario where when we do have like moments the next morning, do you think they will list them as like in a separate marketplace for a standard price and first come first serve, or do you think they'll just casually drop them in packs that are in theory always constantly available in this future scenario?
Ooh, that's a good point.
Yeah, that I don't know. That's a great question. I don't got a take on that one.
Yeah,
I don't know. I
feel like it's right because the goal is for them to have packs readily available at all times. So maybe like Brian said, minting, like, that's the thing that gets us excited, where like they start tweeting out, or we start seeing Crypto Slam screenshots of it minting like immediately. I don't know though. I don't know the answer to that. Does it turn into like an auction thing, or
auction maybe. Yeah, I was gonna say I do know the answer, and I think it's gonna be packs. I think they're gonna drop in packs because they make more money, right? Like if you really want that moment and it's in the common base pack, you're probably going to buy as many $9 base packs until you get it. Just like in standard cards, you know?
Right.
So I feel like that's probably what will end up happening. But I do love the idea of like auctions and just having it up there. Imagine the rat race to like getting that moment if there's only 4,000 available and it's just up and available as a moment. Crazy.
It would be wild.
To me, that's like an opportunity. Oh, we got a cameo.
Oh, he's like too early,
He's
Dad.
exhausted.
What are you doing?
Same.
He's not used to a morning marketplace.
Same, Wes. Same.